not gonna. If it was a cricket or a grasshopper, you weren't gonna
Nope.
reach up there and just grab it and throw him out.
Nope.
All right. So we got.
I married you
Oh,
to get rid of the bugs.
Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Brian and Karen over here at the Little Orchard Farm. Welcome to today's video. We have got some really cool stuff going on. First and foremost, we went back to Amish Pete's and we picked up the rest of our wood for the cabin. And so we have not been stuck out beside the interstate as of yet.
Trailer.
We got a bigger trailer, knock on wood. And so hopefully we're going to make it to the cabin. We're only about 5 minutes away, so I think we're in pretty good shape. But went to Amish Pete's, picked up the shiplap and the tongue and groove pine. Those two we're going to use the shiplap for a couple of walls inside the cabin, and we're going to use the tongue and groove pine for the underneath the porch ceiling, the ceiling to the porch. And so we're really excited about those things. We're going to get those back over here to the cabin and get them unloaded because I think Hurricane Laura is going to send another round of rain our way tomorrow, and so we want to make sure that we get everything kind of put up before we leave out. Who knows what we're going to get into? It should be a really fun weekend. So hey, glad you guys are along for the journey. Let's do this. All right, I made an executive decision. We're gonna come back on the last 3 stacks of our lumber and get it a little bit later. Maybe when I get a little. I think there was. Is this 2? Okay, 2 stacks. All right, 2 stacks. 2 stacks, but the sun is just crazy hot. So we're gonna get started on the porch. So the last thing to do is to put this last piece on right here. And look, I got this fluff. Big horseflies. Got that one last piece to put down, you know, right here, and that's going to bring it over probably an inch or so. That's going to give us our overhang that we're looking for, and so we're going to get busy doing that, and then maybe we'll get a little bit because now the sun or the shade's on this side, so whew, I think we can work and not pass out. All right, so what we're doing here is I'm simply going along marking where the posts are. We decided to cut it out to where the front side is left open and not the back side. So we cut out around it here that leaves this gap versus this gap right here. And so we thought that it looked better having this kind of filled in. This was my first one. It's a little ugly, but hopefully the rest of these will start to look a little bit better. It's a lot of work to lose it. All right, well, got the next board up. Let's do it again. By the way, the whole time that I was doing the porch cuts and so forth, Karen was finishing out the trailer, unloaded the rest of that wood. That's what gun show. So while I finish, or while I'm working on these next few pieces here, let me do that. Let me do it. Take two. While I am working on the next couple of pieces here on this side of the porch, Karen's going to run up, grab the tractor, because we want to get the dirt backfilled in this ditch. And we really need to get it done. And since the rain is probably going to be moving in again this evening and into tomorrow, this would be really our only chance to really kind of do that. It's still a little wet. I mean, I think the tractor is definitely going to be able to move the stuff simply because it's very sandy. It's kind of sandy loam, as you can see here. I mean, this dirt is just phenomenal. I'm sure if I dug deep enough, I'd probably hit clay somewhere around China. All right, So we got the ground covered up for the most part. I got a little bit more work to do. I'm gonna let it dry out a little bit. It's covered up enough that that the electric guys can get in here, pull their wiring through our underground electrical PVC run here, and get our meter base plugged in. Placed the order late last week, this past week, and so I would expect they'll be out to turn us up probably first few days of next week, maybe. So we should have electricity on the property. Now, I had one of you inquire about setting up the a generator and having a cutoff or a cutover failover box, and we are going to have a generator, and we will have a cutover box, or I forget what the failover or whatever. There's a couple of different flavors of those, I suspect. There's the automatic kind and there's the manual kind. So we still got a little bit of homework to do on that piece of it. I know we want one. We've been told that the electricity out here on a good, windy night with all the trees and whatnot that come so close to these lines could down them. And so, yeah, I think we're going to need some sort of backup plan. So yes, we will absolutely get to the generator issue a little bit later on. But when we do, we'll be ready for it. A shutoff valve or a cutoff box or a cutover box, failover box would be right next to the breaker box. So I'm not feeling too awful bad about hooking that in. Well, all right, we got all the front and almost all of the side done, so we'll just have the back to complete tomorrow. So us adjusting to the country life is going to be really, really fun. We're going to start by overcoming fears.
Because you're going to have to overcome a bruise. Just know that. You're going to have to overcome a bruise.
Right up here, let me see if I can show you. Right up here.
I'm telling you.
Is
you're going to get hurt.
Actually, that looks like that's a horsefly.
You're going to get hurt.
I thought that was a cricket, but that is instead a child-eating horsefly. But
earlier. Sounded like Godzilla in here.
But you weren't gonna grab it?
No.
You're not gonna. If it was a cricket or a grasshopper, you weren't gonna reach up there and just grab it and throw him out.
Nope.
All right. So we got.
I married you to get rid of the bugs.
He's
that
moving.
Is a man job.
He is moving.
I unloaded the trailer. You get rid of the bugs.
Them things bite.
I don't care.
I'm not reaching up there and
Well,
getting
I'm not touching him.
You get him.
No.
I mean, the worst thing is it just buzzes a little bit.
Nope.
I mean,
I'll step out and you can shoe him.
I'm not. No. We're trying to get up and get ready to go eat. I can't stop and shoo a little fly. Here, just use this and
Brian?
just pop it.
No.
Yeah, so we got the drama. We got some farm drama. Oh, what do they got going on over here?
I know, but we're about to have some marital drama.
Marital drama? Alright, look, I'll flicking my way. You steer.
I don't
Reach over here and get the.
I don't want him anywhere near me, baby.
I'm gonna flick him over this way.
Now, where did you flick him?
I have no idea.
We have a trailer on the back of this truck.
Oh, there he is. Oh my goodness. Okay. He's over on my side now. Wait a minute, he looks like he's saying, I will eat
Now
you.
run.
Oh, crap. Oh,
Run.
yeah.
You gotta stop or something. You can't do this and drive.
All right, here, you hold this. You film.
I can't see what.
All right, he's gone. He's gone. Emergency avoid. Whew. Whew. That was life and death right there, wasn't it? If it was for me,
Your life.
it was, she would have killed me. Oh my goodness. Ready? All the way to the ground with it. All right, so unlike the front side where I cut out, because I had such a big gap on the back side, I had to cut out the front side. And what I'll do is I'll go back in and cut me out some pieces and basically glue them in. Take a brad nailer, pop them in there. So right here, I've got the block. I'll just take the wood, slither me or rip that down to what I need it to, and it'll match the grain and everything, this board. But on the back side, because the gaps on that second to the last piece and this last piece were so small, I went ahead and left the outside, and you know, like this one right here, this one has no gap at all. So I'll be able to leave that outside all the way along the back, and it'll look really nice. The way that I really wanted to do it. So the lesson learned on this was that at the end of the day, this 2-inch rip, I probably should have ripped to size all the way around, meaning I should have brought it just like this one, all the way up to the edge of the pole, of the post on every one of them. And then I could have easily cut these notched outs instead of having to pick between which side that I wanted the gap to be on. We chose on the front to leave the gap on the outside versus on the inside. It is what it is. All right, porch completely done. Push it back. There. Push it back. Okay. All right, so what I've done here is I've simply taken two 2x4s and screwed them together. And the reason for doing this is I got to reinforce the shower wall. And so if you recall, this wall right here is really flimsy. So I'm gonna add a couple of 2x4s on the end of it, run it up into the ceiling up here, and essentially tie it off with some dead wood, and that'll make it nice and sturdy. I'll shoot some down through the floor to make sure we got it all good and sturdy down here, and so that will then knock out one of the big tasks that I really need to do in order to really prep for the drywall. The other one is to get the fan box up. We have a fan up here somewhere. We've got to locate it. And we've got to put a fan box up so that the fan housing will have something to latch to. unlike the LED lights, with our LED lights, we're simply using the what they call the renovation boxes. Like, you know, when you're doing some work and you're adding a light after the house is already built, you use these types of boxes here that have a lip on it that essentially locks this in on the drywall. So you cut a hole in the drywall, you insert this, you screw it down using these screws right here, and it pulls that lip tighter and tighter and tighter until it locks down on your drywall. Well, with the fan, you can't do that. There's too much weight on it. So we gotta get that fan box in. So that's two biggies. And there's a couple of other things that we'll do a little bit later on, but let's knock this out real quick. All right, so we're going to tackle the fan box. Pretty simple. We found out that the fan is 82 inches over from the wall, 72 inches over from this wall. So I'll put a fitted piece of 2x8 up in the ceiling, and on that 2x8 will be our fan box. And here's the fan box. And so the fan box will be screwed up onto our little piece of dead wood. The dead wood will then slide up into the truss. It doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be straight, so it actually will be just, with the contour of the trusses, which is okay because there'll be a ball on the fan that will allow the fan to drop straight down. All right, guys, that's going to wrap it up here at the Little Orchard Farm. We want to thank you for joining us today as we continue to build our modern homestead from the ground up, starting with our very own cabin. If something like this interests you, consider subscribing. We'd love to have you on the journey. We hope you have a great week and a very blessed week. And until we see you again the next time, we will see ya.